Hi everybody, Charlotte here from Char Loves Books, and I just dropped my phone. So today I'm going to be doing a 2015 wrap-up video, and I'm going to try to judge the book I read in 2015 with at least a few words or sentence and try not to go overboard. So it's gonna literally just be judge what I read in 2015 with me. I'm gonna admit that I did not read as many books this year as I would have liked to. Root of evil when it comes to that is school, because I had senior year, which was not a breeze for me, as everybody says it's a breeze, and then college. And like, I love both of them, but like, they take a lot of time. Understandably so. So let's begin. I will be reading off of my phone, so if I keep looking down, it's not me staring at my one blue toenail. I was breaking in cleats. The first one is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and I'm gonna just say timeless, classic. Obviously, people like it. I don't know if you've heard of it before. The next is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. I also gave that 5 stars, and that's really cool fairy. Sorry. The third one was The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. That was also 5 stars. That was trippy and amazing, totally unique. To think about it in retrospect, I don't remember a lot of what happened. Ooh. The fourth was Evolution of Mara Dyer, also by Michelle Hodkin, if you could have guessed. Gave that one 5 stars. I'm gonna assume I loved it. I've sort of forgotten everything about that book. 5 was Hamlet by William Shakespeare. I gave that one was a reread. Oh wait, no. I've read it twice this year for high school and college. I gave it, like, I'm not gonna bother. I think you've heard of Shakespeare. It's good. Who'd have guessed it? The next one is The Retribution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. I gave that 5 stars as well, and I really liked it because it confused me. I still remember the ending being confusing. Let's just let's stamp on that whole series. It confused me, but I loved it. The next one was Ruin and Rising, the third Grisha trilogy novel by Leigh Bardugo. I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. I think my fault was that I waited too long to read it, and I forgot most of the details. All Fall Down by the Embassy Row series by Ali Carter. I gave it 4 stars. Boiled angst in an interesting setting. Bells by Jen Kalanita. Gave it 3 stars. I think, based off my memory, that was a nice rating, because the only thing I remember is that they were spoiled and they were southern bells. Belle means beauty. Yeah. The next one is Cruel by Jennifer Albin. I gave that 4 stars. That was an extremely unique plot and world. I really liked the world building for that one. I think I ended up reading the second one, and then it's just petered out for me, but like, if you want an example of world building that's kind of confusing, that seems to be 2015's theme. I would go to that series because it doesn't seem as well known as like many other dystopian, but it was really good. The next one is Meant to Be by Lauren Morrill. I gave that 3 stars. I thought it was a cute romance, but not Anna and the French Kiss. The next one was Change of Heart by Jodi Picoult. I read that for school. It was not by choice. I gave it a 1 star. The next one was Scarlet Undercover by Jennifer Latham. I did not finish this one, but I read a majority of it, and I gave it 2 stars. It was very interesting. It had a Muslim protagonist. I was very excited for it. It was just written very basically. I felt like I would have to still be like in middle school to appreciate the writing level. That's judgmental. Sorry. The next one was Winter White by Jen Kalanita. Here's the thing. I don't remember reading this. Why did I keep going in this series? The next one is The Here and Now by Anne Brashares, and I gave that 2 stars. Wow, I was savage in 2015. I remember reading this for book club and not really enjoying it. I think it had to do with time travel. It was insta-love. That's what it had. It had insta-love. The next one is The Chosen One by Carol Lynch Williams. I gave that 4 stars. It was about a girl who is on, what are those things called? Polygamous cult things? Plantation? Like that thing. And she gets out, I think. The next one was Delirium by Lauren Oliver. 5 stars. Everybody loves Delirium. TBH, I don't really remember what it was about either, besides that it was dystopian. The next one is The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. I had to read this for school also. 3 stars. It was better than Change of Heart. That's my sentence for that one. The next one was Altered by Jennifer Albin. I think I abandoned that one because I didn't even bother to rate it. I think the difference was that they changed the covers. You can't change the covers of a book when you're like, it's just a no-no. The next one was Pandemonium, the second Delirium book, 5 stars also. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say Requiem. Requiem was Requiem. Was the third one that I read that also got 5 stars. I liked both. Didn't like the ending of Requiem, but I sort of didn't care as much as I know other people did. The next one was The Winner's Curse by Maria Rutkowski, and also The Winner's Crime. Mom! I gave them both 5 stars. I'm extremely excited for the third one. Would recommend. The next one was Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr. I gave it 2 stars. Literally, I cannot tell you what this book was about. I have no recollection of this. What's wrong with my memory? Next one was City of a Thousand Dolls by Miriam Forster, and I gave that 3 stars. Like fantasy. It had this cool stuff going on with like cats that were humanesque. But the bottom line was that I just wasn't compelled by the plot. The next one is Day 21 by Cass Morgan, and that's the 100 series. I love the show. The show is better than the books, and I can say that. The 100 is one of those franchise things where they come up with the idea and then they make stuff out of it. The show isn't actually based on the books, they're coinciding, so I can say that. And the books were not, the first one was good. The second one was just, I mean, if you want to read something that's just like, feels like a glorified script with more whiny characters, then you can read the series. The next one is Bossy Pants by Tina Fey, and I gave that 3 stars. I just was kind of overwhelmed by it. I don't know, I think I expected it to be funnier, so that could have been mubby. The next one is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and that is a 4 out of 5 stars. I think I probably just gave it 1 star off because past Charlotte got bored and took a really long time to read it. Oh, the next one is The Shining Glory of my mean reviews. They're not mean, they're constructive. You Have 7 Messages by Stuart Lewis. I gave it 1 star, and if you want to read a really constructive review that has valid points about why this book was really bad, then please read my review. Okay, The Grave Mercy by Robin LaFavors, and this and The Winner's Crime were my favorite series that I read this year, and I gave this one a 5-star smackaroonie. It's the His Fair Assassin trilogy. It's medieval, because it's the kingdom of the country of Brittany. Medieval assassins with like their own lore, and they're all romances, and like Hello, I Love You by Katie M. Stout. I gave it 3 stars. This was that K-pop book, K-pop romance book that people were talking about for a while. I think I did a video review. It was decent, like I have no strong emotions towards it. Dark Triumph, the second His Fair Assassin book by Robin LaFavors, also 5 stars. That's my favorite one in the series. The next one is A Million Miles Away by Laura Avery. I gave it 3 stars. This one I remember is one of those romance ones where there's tragedy, like someone dies and then they fall in love, so it was forgettable in short. Next one is The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. This was 4 stars. It was slow, it was it felt more literary than most young adult books, and I really liked that. The writing was very beautiful. Next one is The Mortal Heart by Robin LaFavors. It's actually part of this makeshift tripod right now. That was the final book in the series, and it had the most twists. Yeah. The next one was Half Bad by Sally Green. 5 stars. Sort of an interesting witch story, like with witches. And then next I reread Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. I was probably in a book slump at this point because I don't normally reread. So that's a cute, fluffy series that I just go to sometimes when I need a break from heavier stuff. So the next was Half Wild by Sally Green, which is the one I just mentioned. It's the sequel. There's a very annoying girl in the book that I really hate. And I think that's probably why I didn't like it as much, because she serves no purpose. And it's like not her fault that she exists as that way. She needs to be written better. Just saying. Okay, I'm gonna move on. The next one is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I gave that a 5-star rating. Thought it was a very cute contemporary. And then I read The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Audi, and 5 out of 5 stars. I got to meet her at Boston Teen Authors Fest. Yeah, it was amazing. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100 if you multiply both of them by 10. The next one I read was Vixen by Gillian Larkin. I gave it 3 stars. I only read the series because on Book Outlet the second one was very cheap and I bought it, and I don't even think I ended up reading it. So I guess that's that series in a nutshell. The next one I read was Prep by Curtis Sittenfeld. That was a 5-star rating. I would recommend that to anyone who likes like just high school or college books that are more serious than just the average like fluffy like romance. The next I read was The Heir by Kira Kass, which is the 4th selection book. I don't know why I keep putting myself through those books. I gave it 2 stars, and I probably will continue to read it, the series, but I really don't like them. The next I read was a comic book, The Civil War with the Young Avengers and Runaways. I gave it 4 stars. I love the Young Avengers. I'm biased. Next I read Die For Me, the Revenant series by Amy Plum. I gave it 3 stars. Pretty sure I continued to buy, I think I bought the rest of the series and they're at school right now and I haven't read them. Burn for Burn by Jenny Han, 3 stars. Oh, this series went downhill fast. Panic by Lauren Oliver, 4 out of 5 stars. It was not as amazingly unique as I thought it would be. Next is Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. This was her first YA novel, 3 stars. P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han, that was the second one, 3 out of 5 stars. I think my expectation with this book was that it would be from a different point of view, and it wasn't, and I didn't like that. Next was The Program by Suzanne Young. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I did not like it, but it was in between that state of me really disliking it and not caring at all about it. Next was Fire with Fire by Jenny Han, and actually these books are all co-written by Siobhan Vivian in the Burn for Burn trilogy. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was very weird, like a weird direction that series went. And Ashes to Ashes was the last one, and I gave it 2 stars. The next was A History of Glitter and Blood by Hannah Maskowitz, and I gave that 4 out of 5 stars, and that was really cool. Like very troll, like it was so unique and it was serious and it was melodramatic and I loved it. Next was Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I got to meet her at Boston Teen Authors Fest, whatever it's called too, and I thought it was really cute. I gave it 3 stars because it just was kind of forgettable. I Was Here by Gail Forman. I gave that 3 stars. I love Gail Forman normally, but I was underwhelmed because I didn't think this book had the charm that some of her books really do. Like Just One Day is like up there with Anna and the French Kiss for me, but I wasn't feeling this one. Next one, I read Asylum by Madeline Rue, and I gave it 3 stars. I'm not going to read the rest of the series. It was just kind of dumb. Next was Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly, and that's the first in the Waterfire saga, and I'm currently reading Rogue Wave. I gave this 4 stars. Thought the mermaid thing was cool. Thought the sisterhood thing was cooler. Next was Winter by Marissa Meyer. that took me like a whole month to read, basically. 5 out of 5 stars. I love the Luna Chronicles so much. And the last book I read of 2015 was The Iron King by Julie Kagawa, and I gave it 4 stars because I really like the cat in it. That literally, it just says all the time, "I am a cat," Grimalkin replied. "I'm a cat," Grimalkin purred. And I think that's an accurate way to finish my 2015, by the words of a cat. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my rash judgments of all the books I read this year and subsequently mostly forgot about. So thank you for watching. Woo! Bye! I ate too much chili.